2019 Formula Offroad season kicked off this weekend in Hella. There were 19 cars entered, 5,500 spectators went through the gates. Hella is always the biggest event of the year and pulls people from all over. Formula Offroad's been on the rise. There have been lots of new cars, new drivers, and Hella is special because of the river and the mud. Before we dive into the action, let's take a quick look at the regulations for Icelandic Formula Offroad. Each race consists of 6 to 8 tracks, including at least one time attack. We will get to those in a minute. A normal track is not timed, but if a car has been stopped for over a minute, it will be black flagged, meaning that it cannot continue. The tracks vary in length and the number of gates. The minimum amount of gates in a track is 3, however normally there will be 5 to 8 gates. 3 gates very rarely shown. Before each race, the drivers go on a track inspection where they try to figure out the best way through the course. This is done walking. For finishing a track, a driver is rewarded with 350 points, and this is the golden number. Everybody wants to get 350 points. However, for overcoming each hindrance, the drivers can get a certain amount of points. For instance, the first gate usually gives 100 points, but this can vary between tracks and the number of gates. For getting just one front wheel through the final gate, the driver gets 250 points, so 100 less than the full 350. This is to give drivers the incentive to try to go all the way. If the back wheels make it through, 300 points are awarded. It is only if a driver manages to drive away, full 350 points are awarded. Now we get into the penalty points, and for touching a marker, and this is only a touch in a gate, a driver gets 20 penalty points. However, driving over a marker gives 40 penalty points, and if only one wheel goes through the gate, the driver gets 80 penalty points, and this will all be deducted from the length points given. 10 penalty points are given if a driver stops and 40 if the driver reverses. The time attack rules are slightly different. As the name suggests, the drivers are on the clock, with the fastest driver being rewarded 350 points. For each tenth of a second you are slower than the fastest time, you lose 1 point. And during the time attacks, of course, you can get penalty points as well. For touching a marker, a driver gets 10 penalty points, no matter how he touches it. No penalties are given for stopping or reversing, other than the time lost in the process. I hope that clears up Formula Offroad. Now let's look back at the action. We will cover the race in 2 parts, and in this first episode we will look at courses 1, 2 and 3. And these are the first courses of the season. A few cars doing their first rounds ever up a Formula Offroad course. Now the first car to kick off the season, Guðmundur Guðmundsson. And he is, could be called a rookie driver, only his second race. Makes it through the 100-point gate, but that's it, won't go any further. Now this is Haukur Einarsson. He has been competing for over 4 years. He is starting his 3rd year in this car, and he got his first win last year. He also got a big crash. Well, let's see how Haukur does this year. The car's easy to go up here, no penalties so far. There's a steep downhill part about to emerge here, and Haukur goes in. Oh, just floors it to jump down there, and now we go into the final climb. Will he go for the full 350? Yes, he will. Look at the power, but that's not enough. That's 230 points. Now Guðmundur Eliasson.
Þetta verður skemmtilega brautir. Það eru frekar erfiðar, en ég held að þetta verður bara geggjað.
Þú varst svona að bæta þig jafnt og þétt í fyrra. Hver árangurinn að vera í ár?
Bara sigur.
Ekkert annað?
Ekkert annað.
Victory or nothing. That's the way to do it. Guðmundur is only 18 years old, and he showed us last year that he could drive. He just needs to be more consistent, and here we go. Up the first hurdle. There's a lot of power in this car. That looks good. Gets traction there finally, and into the steep bit. I don't think he has a penalty point yet. And last year he rolled in the first course. Now coming into the final bit, we saw Haukur struggling. What will he do? Full throttle. That's clever, but not clever enough. Gets beaten by the first course at Hella. However, that's 240 points and no penalty points for Guðmundur, so he goes further than Haukur. A decent start, can't complain if the car's okay. Now let's have a look at the next one. This is Páll Jónsson driving the Sheep. He did 2 races in this car last year. Back for the 3rd, and is 3rd time the charm for Páll? We will see. Wants to prove that he's no longer a rookie. He was telling before, and let's go, Páll, that's full throttle, that's never gonna work. but that might give you the same amount of points as Guðmundur, 240 points. Looks like there's some damage to the front end of the Sheep. Let's stitch up again here. Gets thrown up, and that landing's pretty harsh there. Gets caught on the bank with right front. Now this is Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. New driver in a new car. Simba's built in Ljónstaðir, the team that built the Lion, the championship winning car from 2017. Legendary car builders at Ljónstaðir, close to Selfoss. And easy does it here in the first course. The car looks quite different to a lot of them, but Skúli makes a mistake here, needs to reverse. That's minus 40 for reversing. And well, gets through the gate, and here comes a steep part. Goes slowly, that's fine for now. Needs to get it set up here for the final climb. What will Skúli do? Will he go for it? He will, but won't go enough for it. Saves he gets 230 points for length, but 40 penalty points. So if my math does not fail me this time, it's 190 for Skúli. It is Bjarki Reynisson driving the Animal. This is a very experienced driver. He's been competing since 2001, but that, well, experience doesn't always count for everything, because you saw all the rookies go up there. That's 80 points for length. Aron Ingi Svansson here driving the Storm. This is Aron's 5th year in Formula Offroad. However, it's only his 3rd event with his car, and this event did not go with a good start. Ingólfur Guðarsson driving Guttinir Born here. Like Haukur, Ingo got his first win last year, so many believe that he could get some more this year and challenge Haukur and Þór Þormar for the championship. Look, one car looking similar. Ooh, that smoke might actually be something bad. Not sure though. He's gonna go for it. No, he's seen others fail. Said afterwards that he didn't want to damage his car. And there we go. Now, here is the defending champion. Let's hear from Þór Þormar.
Þór, já, undirbúningur hefur verið ansi erfiður fyrir helltorfarana núna, eða ekki?
Jú, þetta búið strempið. En með frábæra mannskap og svona, þá höldum við að við séum konið með þetta í lag.
Og þú varst í vélavandræðum?
Já, flokki mín núna á Keflavíkurvelli á leiðin út. Þannig að ég með gamla kjallarann og efri hlutanum minni.
Ertu með minna afl en í fyrra?
Já, ég með aðeins minna afl.
Mun það hægja á þér?
Ekki kannski alveg í brekkunum, en klárlega í vatninu held ég.
Definitely in the water, Thor says, having engine problems and engine ability. He's been racing since 1995, got his first title last year, and in a car that has seen numerous victories. Thor Þormar easily through the first bit, like everybody expects. Now let's see if somebody can make it up the last hill. That would be Þór Þormar. Nobody has made it up so far. What will Thor do here? I'm sure he will floor it at least. Yes, here we go, Thor giving it everything. Look at that, the way that he managed to place the car through the gate. That's fantastic from Þór Þormar, and that's how you become a champion. 330 points, and first course of the year, 100-point lead. Look at that. Proper driving from Þór Þormar. Let's get this from inside. Let's get the action. See, look at this, very calm until he just goes for it and gets it through. Awesome drive by Þór Þormar. Now here we have Geir Evert Grímsson.
Geir, búin í brautaskoðun, hvernig líst þér á brautirnar hérna á Hellu?
Þetta eru flotta brautir núna.
Og já, fyrstu brautir ansi krefjandi.
Já, fyrstu 3 ára allavega.
Geir Evert has always been battling for podiums since he began racing in 2015. However, Geir Evert has never won. His name often been tossed around in potential winners, but it always seems to fall through at the wrong time. Geir Evert at least does a good job here to go through the first gate, and now he knows that it's possible to go up, but no! That's not the way to do it, and that is a way to damage your front suspension. However, he looked to get through. The BBC was at Hella. They were filming an episode of Top Gear. Chris Harris and Freddie Flintoff were competing, and let's see what Freddie had to say before the race.
Freddie, now you've looked at the tracks, how do you like them?
I've never seen anything like this in my life before, and walking up close you get a sense of how steep it is, and you look at them and you just think a car cannot get up these. So I don't know, I'm trying to compute it. I don't know if it's possible. I'll give it a go.
You'll see.
Yeah, the big thing is I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
Just try and get through a few of the courses, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Now you're a great athlete. Are you like competitive here, or is this more just for fun?
No, I hope it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But I am competitive.
Yeah.
I want to do well. I'm in Iceland. I'm surrounded by people who do it all the time. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't think I'm going to get any silverware or a medal, but I just don't want to embarrass myself. So I'm going to take this seriously.
Good luck today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here is Freddie driving the soap, going for the first course. Let's see how he does. Easy does it here to begin with, and then he said he didn't want to embarrass himself, and that did not go well. Freddie rolling it in gate number 1. Let's see if his buddy Chris Harris can do better.
Chris, you've looked at the tracks. How do you like them?
I don't like them at all. I wouldn't use that verb. I don't know why you do it. It's incredible because you just look at the terrain and your eyes say it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible. And I know it is possible because I've seen the films. I'm not sure I want to be doing it. And you might not know that this is a big surprise for me. The whole idea of the film was to come here and watch Fred and coach him and laugh at him. And then they said, you're doing it as well. I'm like, oh no. And the quarry bit is crazy.
Yeah.
He is really frightened.
I am, genuinely. I'm not afraid to admit I'm scared.
But now you've driven pretty much every type of racing car there is.
Yeah.
How do these compare?
Has he told you he's done King of the Hammers?
Yeah, exactly. So you're like a veteran.
And when I finished that event, I promised I'd never do anything like it again. So I'm back.
And here you are.
They're insane, these things. But like any vehicle that has a specific purpose, you admire what they can do when someone else is doing it.
Good luck today.
Cheers.
I can agree with Chris there. This is not something that anyone wants to be doing except for a few legendary guys. Now Chris, he's driving the legendary Farmer's Daughters. His car is one of the legends of Iceland. He has already gone further than his friend Freddie. And, well, done a decent job here to begin with. Chris Harris going down the steep bit. That's the scary part, actually. That's going down. Let's see what Chris does when he's gonna go up. He doesn't even try to go for it. So, 170 points for Chris Harris. So let's move over to track number 2, Þórðar Leeds. Here we have Páll Jónsson driving the sheep. Like the first track, this one starts quite easily, but gets tougher, like everything in Hella. The going just gets tougher. Here we have the halfway point. Now the drivers need to make a very sharp turn and go back down. 40 penalty points for reversing. Let's see what they do. Going down. Bit of a tippy-toey here. Needs to get up to the final gate at the top of this hill. This is almost 90 degrees. Will he go for it? Yes, he does, but Páll needs a lot more speed. That's 80 points. The announcer said it all here. This is Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. This is Skúli's first race in the unlimited class, but he did compete twice in the street legal class, winning both races, so there's no denying Skúli's talent behind the wheel. However, we need to see how he does. Like all of the off-road cars built in Newstad, this one has a great turning radius. And it'll be interesting to watch this car progress through the season. Now let's see what Skúli can do. He'll go for it now, won't he? Full throttle, and he gets up onto the bank, but it's not enough. So close, but not enough. 250 points and 40 penalty points. Here is Bjarki Reynisson driving the animal. Bjarki is not using the same tires as the others. However, that's not slowing him down here. Did do him some trouble in the first course, but he didn't really try here, did he? Needs a lot more speed. This is Aron Ingi Svansson driving the Storm. Transmission problems in the first track looks like they have been fixed. Now this car sounds different, as you can hear, because that's a 2.4 liter Honda and not your American muscle like usually. Aron and his team made a lot of changes to the car during the winter. And one of the most turning in the car is turning properly here right now, even in these very, very tight corners. Now let's see if he will try for the final gate. No one has made it all the way yet. Aro needs the points because he had so much troubles in track number 1 that barely got him any points. So let's see, here he goes for it. That is a jump. 120 pounds, but let's see that again. And look at the way the car just grips. And the instant acceleration in that Honda is ridiculous. Now here's Ingólfur Guðvarðarson. This is Guttenir Born. He has made it through the first half of the course without any penalties, but his car's smoking again. Now setting up for the final gate. Will he get it? Full throttle. He's seen it's been done already, and that's even cleaner. No penalty points. That's an amazing drive for Ingólfur. Fantastic. Here is Ásmundur Ingjaldsson trying the bomb. Engine problems in the first couple of courses continue. And not a lot of points. Here is Thor Þormar Pálsson. He had a 100-point lead after track number 1. He's already seen that this course can be finished. The defending champion too. He's in trouble. 40 points here for reversing. Will he make it up? Needs to find some traction. Full throttle here. But the car's bouncing there. That's 20 penalty points more for touching a marker. And does he touch one here? He shouldn't need to. Shouldn't need to. Thormar down here. Now setting up for the final climb, and Thor usually does not disappoint for these big climbs. What will Thor Þormar do now? He set it up, full throttle, and here he goes. Only at 20 penalty points there at the end, and the traction, everything fantastic. So that's 270 points for Thor. Let's see it from his point of view. Sky, Earth. Oh, the camera gets loose there. Here's Freddie Flintoff trying the soap. Freddie was one of the best cricket players in the world. However, cricket does not seem to help him much in Formula Offroad, although you need to go through gates or touch markers. Freddie, so far, no penalty points. Trying to turn it here. Is he gonna do it? Oh, he does the stick and just goes for it, and he goes up. What a drive from Freddie. That's 350 points for laying only 90 penalty points, and that was a drive. Top Gear crew goes wild, and the pressure is on Chris Harris. Let's see what he does. Chris Harris onto the final gate. What will he do? 40 penalty points for reversing there. Chris is lining it up. He wants to go all the way. He's seen Freddie do it already. And he's just gonna go for it. He will! Fantastic! Chris Harris and Freddie Flintoff doing a good job, and their producer seems extremely pleased with their boys. Now, Gerrit Grímssons. No penalty points so far. Seen everybody go up so far. Needs to do it as well. Doesn't. Well, only 20 penalty points in the final gate, so that's a good run. 330 points for Gerrit. Here is Guðmundur Guðmundsson. The rookie probably wants to make up for his mistake in the first course. So far, there are no penalty points, and he's gonna go for the final gate and just does it, and he just does it right away. And that's a proper run, 330 points, only 20 penalty points on that. Here we have Haukur Einarsson. We can see the track looks a bit more scary inside the cars than it does on television. This is all so steep. Ingólfur and Geir close the gap. Haukur wants to do the same, and he goes for it. And that is Haukur through the gate. 330 points. Look at that. Haukur does well here. Doesn't quite manage to go without penalties, but hey, good enough. Here is Guðmundur Eliasson driving Rodeo. His team was at the last second getting the car ready for the race. Had to change the engine. However, here he is. And engine problems. That might ruin his race. Now let's look at the standings after the second track. Thor Thormar Paulsson with a slim lead, 40 points over Ingólfur, Haukur and Geir Evert, who all are tied on 560 points. So the pressure really on here after 2 tracks in Hella. Now let's move over to the third track. This is Páll Jónsson driving the sheep. The start to the third track was truly demanding. Oh, look at that. The front axle not spinning, and that is broken. That's trouble. 40 points. Now let's move on. This is Skúli Kristinsson driving Simba. Let's see if the beginning has gotten any easier after the first one. No, it's hard. Well, he's further. Skúli makes it through. And continues and gets up. Here we are halfway. Needs to go back down, and then there's another climb. It looked to be the popular way of putting tracks up in Hella. A climb, a decline, and a climb. This is tough. It's hard getting set up through these slopey corners. And now the final climb, and Skúli just goes for it. And that's a nice way to go through. He probably shouldn't even have gotten any penalty points there because he doesn't touch. But apparently you need to be inside the gates. Here's Bjarki Reynisson, this is the animal. Bjarki has been driving with caution. Now let's see if that changes. He's going through the final gate here. Cautious. Still cautious. A lot of smoke. Here's Árni Svansson coming up to the final gate. The car's working well now after the troubles of track 1. The car sounds good actually. It's enjoyable, and Aron gets thrown over, but he goes through, but the car needs to drive away to get the full points. So, a shame. Let's see this again. Look at the way that the rear axles get thrown up in the air when they touch that bit there. There's a bit of a nasty ridge there. Here's Ingólfur Guðvarsson. He's going to try to get Guttin all the way. He's in heavy competition for the lead. Keeps on smoking. Goes to the right. Doesn't have to go over the steepest part, and that was smart. 270 points for Ingólfur. Here's Ásmundur Ingjaldsson. Bomb. Crew seems to have fixed the engine issue that he had earlier in the race. He's going to do the same. Goes to the right, but does not make it well. And small stones are raining. Wow, 250 points. Here's Thor Thormar. He has seen Ingólfur make it up. He's got pressure mounting up on him, but that's when he does, well, either his big shunts or his big jumps. And what do we get here? We get a big shunt. 300 points. However, no normal penalty points. You just get 300 points for length. That is one way to go through the gate. From the drone here. Amazing shots. Look at that, up in the air, and the roll cage takes a nasty hit there. It even got bent and had to be fixed for the next course. So truly remarkable. And his classic, yeah, I'm good. Here's Geir Evert Grímsson. He can take the lead if he gets to the top without penalties, and he goes up, or what? No, doesn't make it. He truly tried. Well, that's 250 points for length, 20 penalty points. Geir Evert, disappointed not to go all the way up. It is Haukur Einarsson. Haukur can take the lead as well. He goes all the way, or what? No, he does not. 250 points for Haukur. So Thor Thormar looking good here. And here we can see Thor Thormar has extended his lead over Ingólfur to 70 points. Haukur Einarsson 20 points behind there, and Geir Evert 20 points behind there. It's same story. So looking good for Thor Thormar. We will finish our coverage of the Hella Formula Offroad event in the next show. Be sure not to miss it as we see the crews tackle the river and the mud.